Happening? Energy back in the building. Welcome to the Recharge with Energy podcast, where we speak our mind and don't be lying. You can always follow me at Enrgy23 on Instagram and Enrgy231 on Twitter. Jake, what's going on?
How's it going, bro?
Not bad.
Down here in Pensacola, Florida.
Still in the middle of AIT. A hell of a journey.
Yeah.
But never thought that the podcast was going to happen, but here we are. So. Alright, so I guess let's jump right into it. One of the first topics I feel like it's kind of been, at least right now as we are speaking, as of March 28th, it is the #1 trending thing on YouTube, and it is Montero by Lil Nas X. Not the song itself, but the music video. And obviously it's him coming out about being gay, of course. I mean, and him, I guess, owning it to the fullest extent, which, I'm all for it. I mean, like, brother, like, do your thing or whatever. But I guess, like, where I stand on this is, like, what does the gay community think about it? Because, like, I'm not gay, so I can't really speak on it. But judging by just, like, some of the hate, I don't know if the hate's coming from the gay community or if it's coming from, just straight people. Like, what's the deal? We did watch the video. I mean, twerking on the devil. I mean, like, I feel like it's a little extreme. I mean, I get it. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're gay, but like, bro, like. why the devil? Like, I don't know, like, it definitely made me laugh. I'll say that much. Like, like, I don't have a problem with you being gay, man, but the whole religious, twerking on the devil thing, that I feel like that's gonna upset some Christians. I mean, whether, no matter how they feel. I mean, the devil's a rebelling angel, so I mean, I don't know if twerking on him is a good thing or a bad thing, like, but I guess him just being gay in general is going to upset a lot of Christians, though, or Catholic people in general, just because of the fact that being gay is a sin. So, which is dumb in my eyes. I'm a Christian, but, like, whatever. Obviously there's a lot of things that I don't agree with when it comes to religion, so, and there are a lot of things I do agree with, so. But I don't know. I think what people were trying to get at was basically, like, he was just being, like, very, like, flamboyant with the music video. Like, maybe he was just doing a little too much. But other than that, I really don't get where all the hate's coming from. I mean, the pole dancing, like, all that stuff, like, it just seemed like it's kind of like I don't know, like it's just kind of funny to me. Like, it was just kind of comical. Like, when I saw that, I was like, no fucking way. Like, so I don't know. I mean, you just watched it for the first time, so what's your take on this?
Oh man, I don't even know what to say to it, then.
I know, it's hard to speak.
As someone that has literally done sermons before, because back in basic, I prior to basic and moving to Washington, I really try my best to be a better Christian and get in touch with God. I'd go to church by myself and stuff. My family stopped going. They go now, but when we moved to Alaska, they stopped going, and then, even in Washington, that kind of stuck with them. But when I was going on my own, I obviously had a passion to, walk a better life in the way of God, and, I developed that further in basic, because I would take the time out of the free time we had, which is, very fucking little, to write these little sermons up and pull scripture out. So I have nothing positive to say about the video. It, to me, just reinforces the whole idea, like, we live in the end times. I think there's a lot of stuff happening in society where it's like you know, the devil works around clock in Christian belief, right? You know, devil works around clock. I always tell people the greatest lie the devil ever told was that he doesn't exist. And at this point, like with all the bullshit in society, like it's not even like deception, deceit, you know, hidden corruption, you know, hidden sin, like it's just in your face, like influence, like these. I don't even know, man. I don't say.
Yeah,
I'm just like, it's the way like society is, and you know, you have shit like this out is like, I don't know. makes me it makes me like feel like Earth Earth is hell. Like Earth is hell because the way things are is like this is where you know the devil has his power, you know, like his works are, you know, I mean I've never been to fucking hell, so I can see what the fuck he's doing down there or wherever the fuck, but I've seen a whole lot of bullshit in today's society that don't align at all with, you know, so I don't know, man. With the things are in society now, it's just like it's such a like you look at this video, right, Montero, and I think the like most like kind of like vibe I get from this is there's this old song by MGMT. It was posted back in 2009. It's called Electric Feel. It's a good song, but the music video is kind of weird. The music is kind of weird. It doesn't have like any like extreme symbology in it, but like just the whole environment and atmosphere of the video, it's kind of weird. This video is like tenfold of that, like
yeah.
and
And I
don't
think
know.
maybe it
It's
was just made for the simple wow factor, maybe, you know, like, because I mean I kind of see like all sides of the spectrum. It's like, you know, it's like the gay community versus Christian, you know, like that simple, like maybe that's the direction he was going. Like I don't really know what the message was supposed to be of the music video. I just view it as like very extra, and I know he was definitely looking to be provocative, like, and get people's attention, because it's like, you know, I mean, as Christianity, like I said, like, you know, it's a sin to be gay, so, you know, obviously I guess he's being sent to hell because of the choice that he's made, like, and that's like kind of the thing of the video. But I don't know if that was like what the message was supposed to be, but obviously there's gonna be a lot of very upset you know, religious people. Me, I don't, you know, I don't really care what you are, but I could just see a lot of people that are religious just getting upset at this, you know, and that's kind of just what I just leave it at, you know. But he was, I mean, it's #1 on trending. I mean, this is I feel like this is a 6ix9ine move, like, you know, he's just being provocative, you know, and it's getting a lot of people's attention. So if that's what he was going for, then, you know, 100%, like, you know, I mean, he made the right play, but I
I mean,
I like the song.
I'm not gonna go out of my way, you know, saying shit about the video because, you know, it doesn't accomplish anything. What I do have in my control is, you know, spreading the gospel and what have you, which I'll get into that in a moment. But, you know, what kind of ties in to, you know, speaking out on it and, you know, not caring about following the wave. And there's referencing scripture in Philippians 3:20. It says, the fact that we are exiles on this earth, or that's in 1 Peter, says, the fact that we're exiles on this earth does not mean that we don't care what becomes of culture. However, it does mean that we exert our influence as very happy, broken-hearted outsiders. We are exiles. Our citizenship is in heaven, and from it we await a Savior, the Lord Jesus Christ. Here we have no lasting city, but we seek the city that is to come. And that just, long story short, is saying, you know, there's a time where we as Christians will be exiled from society. What is wrong will be right by the standards of people living on this earth. But you know, this isn't our permanent, you know, place of stay. Like, where we belong is in heaven, and you know, our existence on this earth is, you know, awaiting, you know, our Savior. And me knowing this through the scripture, like I don't care about, you know, in any type of way hiding. Like, I don't support this at all, because I just flat out I don't. And by metrics of even something stupid as like YouTube videos, like, you see the whole wave of just fuckery has increased in just a 10-year time span. Because like I said, with a whole video as simple as like electric feel, it's if you go look at it, it's like a seemingly innocent video. Just the whole, like I said, the whole atmosphere is kind of weird of it. That video was made fucking 12 years ago, and if you compare that to Montero, like, it's just, I don't even know.
Well,
I definitely feel like, as a young man and with aspirations of having children one day, that it's more now a responsibility as a Christian to really try to do the fundamental job of a Christian, which is to spread the gospel, and also to be involved as a parent. Like, I really didn't have that in my life, like, you know, someone guiding me on how I could be better as a Christian, this and that. But I found that out by myself. But like, with the times now, I feel like it's super important, because, you know, kids are, you know, at that age, you're most impressionable. You retain things the fastest. You memorize things the fastest. Like, you pick up on things the quickest. Like, you're in a time of, you know, absorbing all the information around you. And when all the information is, you know, what you're seeing, like Montero, like, what kind of person is that shaping you and the children around you, the society around you? So, yeah.
yeah, I mean, like, you know, you get two very, you know, obviously different perspectives there. So I mean, it's like, you know, like I said, like, me personally, you know, there's nothing that, like, I can control when it comes to that type of thing. Obviously, it is kind of a smack in the face to obviously Christianity, or Catholic, you know, those religions, like, for those people, and, you know, obviously me included. But maybe, like I said, like, that's what he was going for, you know, and that, like, the only thing I can really do is try and understand, like, the message of the video. And obviously there wasn't like a genius interview or anything like that done, so where, like, he explains it. But I think it's, like, open for interpretation. Like, so, you know, at least how I take it on a surface level, like, just watching it, I think it's the second time I watched it. It's just, you know, he's kind of like saying, like, kind of fuck you to, you know, anybody who opposes, you know, his sexuality, I guess. So,
Yeah.
Which, you know, is neither here nor there. I mean, like I said, I don't see a problem with it. It's just like, you know, I feel like definitely he probably could have went about it in a different way that didn't smack Christians and Catholics in the face. But like I said, if he was going for the 6ix9ine move to where it was just going to provoke a bunch of negative energy, then he definitely achieved that.
And for me, with the whole like, like giving a strong image of by the gay community's metric of courage and whatever, it's just it's astounding. Like I forget, apologies for my ignorance, but like there was this award or some shit given to I was talking to my buddy back in Alaska about it, for this person coming out gay and like representing the gay community, and they were like recognized for it. Meanwhile, no, it wasn't that. It was in fact, gay community has a month dedicated to gay pride, whatever. And meanwhile, veterans have a day. Veterans in America have a day of recognition. And to be honest, who really is, or how much of society is really utilizing that day? It's a simple day. You have one day to dedicate something. Meanwhile, even for people that support gays, whatever, they have a whole month of
Yeah, I mean, like when you look at
whatever of supporting it. Like you only have to give one day of supporting your veterans, but the whole main thing I'm trying to get at is like, you have people that sacrifice their whole livelihood for people to have the privilege to execute every constitutional right by sacrificing their time, the welfare of their family, just so again, people can execute their constitutional, foundational American rights. What makes you American? And as much as they're giving up, they by society standards aren't remotely as appreciated as, and I'm obviously biased. Like I grew up in a military family, and I am military, but I can't support a society around me where people are recognized for being gay, like being not just being gay, but being confidently gay, and getting more recognition than someone that 365 247 is, ensuring the people around them can exercise their rights to say and do as they please. Like I can't.
I mean, there's like millions and millions of people that have died and like sacrificed their life for like the country that we have today, and to know that like basically veterans only have Memorial Day, Veterans Day, basically like just a day, whereas like you said, like somebody just waking up and being like, oh, I'm gay, like that's more important than
like I did in my 2,000 word essay paper, whatever. I kind of talked about the oath of enlistment, and it says in there, I blank do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Right out the gate, the whole fundamental thing of being a serviceman is defending the Constitution, and given that responsibility, there's a huge for lack of better words, a huge amount of work behind that. Like defending the Constitution isn't just like oh, go set auto pay for your fucking phone bill. Like that's a whole that's a lifelong commitment to be better and be a selfless human being. And yeah, it's just like fuck to me that who is praised and who is appreciated, not even like appraisal, like you don't do acts of good, or good deeds, and serve the military to get recognized for it. But just appreciation is just ridiculous.
Well, yeah, I mean, like the same thing goes for like I guess you could say like police officers and stuff. Like they only get a week. Like there's a officer appreciation week or something like that. They don't get a whole month. And like that's a sacrifice. Like there's a lot of people out there that die for a badge. So
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about the other day while I was driving. Is like, and it pops in mind just randomly. Is like, I think of this picture of this cop. He's praying in front of his car, and that just has me like reflecting, like, cops just praying, every day before they go to work, because not every day is guaranteed, especially in that line of work, and receiving so much criticism, and
yeah, I mean, for obviously, like, for people in society, it's like, if everybody loves to say like, oh, like cops are bad or whatever, like, but if like every cop was horrible, let's be honest, we'd be living in a purge or a third world country.
Yeah.
So like, where there really is no.
And what was it? What it was like? City of Chicago, like they stopped funding the police or whatever, and then like crime rate went up fucking 1,000,000%. So then they started funding the police again. Like it's just a fucking laughing
yeah, it's like
stock.
what did you think was gonna happen? But
yeah,
I mean, that's what society wants. We live in a society to where gay people are praised more than military members, and I'm not saying that none of these communities deserve praise. I mean, like, sure, gay people have had their struggles and everything, but like, who sacrificed more? Like, that's kind of what it boils down to. And like, let's be honest, like, in America, for the most part, I mean, same thing with like Black History Month. I mean, it's like, granted, it's February, so it's the shortest month of the year, but it's like, there was a lot of sacrifice to get to get it to what it is now. I would say that Black people have sacrificed more than what the gay community has sacrificed. I'll basically say that much, because if you
that's not even disputable.
Yeah, so but it is crazy to me though that we'll give the gay community a month before we give military members a month, or police officers a month, or people that have actually, like, for years and decades and generations have like died to like even give you the privilege to walk around and say that you're gay without being ridiculed, at least in today's day and age. I know it's a nifty topic to talk about, but it's definitely something like, like let's keep it real, like, it's okay for you to be gay. Like, for the past, like, I'd probably say like 10 to 15 years, like it's okay for you to be gay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, gay marriage has been legalized, like all that stuff. Like, for the most part, like it's okay for you to be gay in America. And it's like, but in order for it to have gotten to that point, like there was a lot of people that went overseas and like died, you know what I mean? Like in the middle of that like happening. And it's like, that even gave you the chance to make that choice, so I mean, but hey man, it's only a matter of time too before trans people get their month, and and all that other stuff. So I mean, I know those things are definitely controversial, but it's definitely something that just goes on in today's society, and I can't fully understand it, but it's just kind of the day and age we live in. I guess it is what it is, right? So next topic, I don't know if you wanna, because I know you had a couple of topics. Obviously I have like two more, so I figured we'd like ping pong off each other.
Okay. Well, topics I was gonna talk about is the stimmy we got.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, did you get hit with that?
Yeah, I did.
Nice.
That was nice.
Nice. Those Biden bucks.
Yeah, I went to my car getting down here. That was pretty expensive getting that from Washington to Florida. You know, kind of across the America trip.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was amazing getting that.
Yeah, 1.9 trillion, and now your gas can be double the price of what it
Yes.
was before.
Don't even get me. Don't even get me started. Don't even
Yeah,
get me.
we won't go too deep into the politics thing, but you know, I hope
Yeah.
everybody enjoyed their
Yeah.
stimulus checks and the fact that your gallon of milk is now $5.
Everyone, yeah, you know, everyone likes free money. Let's be honest.
Yep.
Who doesn't want more money?
It's
But
like
I was gonna talk
it's
about that and Asian hate. Asian hate.
Asian.
It
Yeah,
it
so
it
that's
pops up
actually
in my
interesting.
like it pops up in my, you know, internet surfing, you know, every once in a while. Like Asian hate, it's like a buzzword,
So
but
like
like I don't know like
the
much
thing
about it and
the thing with that like is like I don't understand where it came from, right?
yeah.
Like that's my biggest thing. I have no idea where like
Like I
the
see it pop up in
strong
the news,
movement
but
for it.
I'm like, wait, well, we're canceling Asians now?
Yeah,
We don't like Asian people? Like,
yeah,
what did I
what
miss?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like what did I miss too? Because
I'm
I
I'm over
like
here having to
randomly.
I'm over here having to speculate, you know, like this shit's a stock and, you know, I'm trying to, you know, take this shit to the moon like are we canceling Asian people because it's well what did Trump say? Um Kung flu, you know, because of the Kung flu.
Oh,
Like,
did he say that? Oh no.
well, yeah, he said that a long time ago, but is it are we like are we not like Asian people because we feel like they're responsible for the fact that we're having a quarantine and stuff? Like, what is this? What is this Asian hate for? I
Yeah,
have no
I just
idea.
didn't understand like where it came from, and it definitely seems like kind of late, like because if like they were talking about like Asian hate or whatever, like, but I'm like, dude, like if like all right, so if it was from Trump, right, you know, or whatever, like this like the whole COVID shit really kicked off in like March 2020, which was a year ago. So like
Hmm.
if that's the case, why is it like just now like surfacing that Asians were hated and they were you know, I don't agree with the whole him saying the Chinese virus thing and all this other stuff like it's the
Yeah,
China virus. Like yeah, of course that's definitely a little derogatory and that's definitely just a little racist at the
yeah,
very least. So, you know, but like you know, blaming like Asians for like, you know, a virus that, you know, the majority of like, you know, just nobody knows where it came from truly. So I mean, you can't like pinpoint it on somebody. You know, COVID has been around. Obviously there's been 18 strands or strains of it
hmm,
prior to COVID-19. So, you know, I don't think it necessarily has anything to do with China or fucking Wuhan or wherever the shit came from, like, you know, or originated. I think it's just kind of one of those things, like it was bound to happen regardless. But like the whole Asian hate thing, okay, if it is stemming from Trump, why is this like just now popping off like in March 2021?
yeah.
It's like I don't get that. You know, like the whole Black Lives Matter thing like popped off in like May of 2020, you know, with George Floyd and stuff.
Hmm.
And like so we went through all of that and now it's like, you know, like now that that's kind of like died down and like, you know, I guess regressed a little bit, and people are starting to realize defunding the police a bad idea. Now it's all of a sudden like people hate Asian people. It's like, where did that come from? Like I did see that some guy went into in Texas, I think he went in and killed like seven Asian people in
Really.
like massage parlors or like something like that or whatever,
Hmm.
or like nail salons or something like that. I don't know 100% on. Hold on, I'll look it up. But like um hold on, Texas murder. Yeah, well, I mean, basically, I'm gonna keep looking for it, but okay, here it is. All right, family of murder, 27, hate crime, and that. I don't think. Hold on, I don't think this is it. Yeah, well, anyways, like, basically, a guy like went to like a bunch of different massage parlors and like killed like like these Asian owners of these places or whatever. And I guess I don't know if that's what started it or if it was the Trump thing. I think it all just kind of like now all of a sudden just got like compiled into like one thing, and like then it just really started ramping up, which I haven't seen too much about it like past, because it was like a week ago that like it like ramped up randomly, because I was like looking for like an instant like, but the Asian hate thing like started before that guy went on the murdering spree. So like that was just one of the things that they like I guess the Asian community was using to like go off of to like make it seem like, you know, that much worse. I mean, it's okay, my thing is like it's obvious that like racism exists in America, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, like black people are oppressed, Asian people are oppressed. Like it happens, right? Does it make it right? No. Like it's definitely not right at all. Like it doesn't have a place in the country at all. But it's not something that is going to go away overnight because it didn't start overnight. So
Yeah.
like it's just gonna be one of those things that's like gonna take a lot of time. And like I'm not against like the whole, you know, I'm not against like Asian hate or whatever, like, you know, I just, like I said, I'm just very confused on where like it came from. It's like Mexican hate the next thing, you know what I mean? Like where did the hate for, because it's like it's clear the Black Lives Matter thing like started because, you know, I don't know exactly when it originated, but it was definitely around the time of like the Trayvon Martin thing, like, you know, and it just even before that, you know, just going back to like the Rodney King riots and stuff, like that had like an origination of some sort. So like it started like, and it just, there were multiple instances that happened, and it's always been like a black versus the police thing. And so like that, there's been like a track record, but like the Asian hate thing, there is like really no track record. And it's like, I saw the NFL make a statement about it. I saw McDonald's make a statement about it. Like every fast food restaurant and like all these like big corporations were making statements about it. And it's like, yeah, I mean, it's wrong. Like, you know, but like, let's be honest, like like racism is just a problem in America, period. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I guess everybody's just trying to have their voice heard. Maybe the Black Lives Matter thing has died down a little bit, so now the Asians are jumping in, and then the Mexican community will jump in. Like I don't know what or why it started or how it happened, but I mean, I guess it can't hurt anything, right? I guess it's just raising awareness.
Yeah.
So I guess that's just what I'll deem it up to.
Yeah, there was this like I said, it just pops up in just when I'm surfing the internet. There was this article by the LA Times saying there's a bunch of people, like hundreds of people that were marching in LA for it. So
yeah, stop Asian hate. Yeah. There were 3,800 anti-Asian racist incidents, mostly against women in the past year. Close to 3,800 incidents were reported from March 19, 2020 to February 28th. Yeah, man, like, I mean, this is definitely interesting. I mean, if it's something that obviously, you know, we're blind to, like, and just have never seen before, but, like, I really don't understand, like, kind of where it came from. It just seems It just seems like we're just, like, kind of piggybacking off of the Black Lives Matter thing. Like, that's what I see it as. Which, like I said, that's not a bad thing, though. Go ahead.
Kind of abruptly switching topics real quick. Kind of found it while I was browsing the news, but see this article that says, and I want to bounce this off of you, is, you know, how to go and to the academy and stuff and being corrections officer and all. Anyways, this article says Baltimore will no longer prosecute drug possession, prostitution, low-level crimes. What do you like? What's your take on that?
I mean, if that's what the community wants, that's what the community wants, you know? I mean, we can't, it makes our job easier, right? I mean, everybody's going to need police officers, but that'll just be less people that, you know, somebody like me has to arrest or whoever in the future. So, you know, I mean, if that's what you want, crime rate's going to go through the roof. Overdoses are going to go through the roof. Because whether you like it or not, you know, somebody who's a drug addict or whatever, getting locked up is probably one of the best things for them, unfortunately, because there's medical staff there, they can detox, they're cared for, there's medication, it's stuff like that. So, you know, care, custody, and control, like that's kind of like the role of any correctional officer. So being in jail, being in prisons, like, you know, and especially maximum security prison is horrible. But jail, which is temporary, because there is a difference between jail and prison, for those people that don't know. Jail is temporary, so they only hold you for a certain amount of time until you get sentenced, and then you get sent to a facility that, you know, houses you for a longer period of time. But it ends up being like one of the safest places for those people, because if you're involved in gang activity, well, classification will take care of it, and they will you know, put you in areas that don't have such gang members or, you know, such, or if your problem is drugs and, you know, you're overdosing or, you know, on the verge of overdosing or whatever the case is, they'll take care of you. So these low-level crimes and stuff like that, if you want us to stop arresting these people, well, that's fine. You know, it's less reports that police officers have to write, makes their job easier, and there will just be more overdoses and more crime. You know, so I'm glad the people are finally getting what they want. That's my viewpoint on it.
Yeah.
You know, nobody really thinks about the big picture of these things, man, but it's you said this was Baltimore County or Baltimore City?
Baltimore County.
And they're not arresting people for low-level crimes such as...
Yeah, it says, fuck, I gotta go back to the article. Here we go. It says, a year ago, as the coronavirus began to spread across Maryland, Baltimore State's Attorney Marilyn Mosby stopped prosecuting drug possession, prostitution, minor traffic violations, and other low-level offenses. And it says, in Baltimore, nearly all categories of crime have since declined, confirming to Mosby what she and criminal justice officers have argued for years. Crackdowns on quality of life crimes are not necessary for stopping more serious crimes. But yeah, the argument is the data suggests there is no public safety value in prosecuting low-level offenses. So that's kind of the thought process behind this.
Yeah, this article that I'm reading says Baltimore, which would be Baltimore City. Yeah, and that logo in the background is Baltimore City. So I would at least, you know, the photo with like Mosby speaking or whatever. Yeah. So yeah. That's definitely Baltimore City. So, regardless, this thing, like that's fine. I mean, like I said, that just makes like police officers' jobs like easier because they could just walk away from these things. But like, I honestly, I give it like a year, 2 max, before that's like reinstated and like, you know, gotten rid of, because people are gonna realize, oh shit, like jail was actually saving these people's lives, rather than, you know, just keeping them off the street or whatever, or, you know, like, or just letting them walk free and continue to do the bad shit in society that they shouldn't be doing. So that, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, like you said, it's going to be the same exact thing as what happened in Chicago. Like, you know, you know, defund the police, you defund them, and then crime skyrockets, and then you start funding the police again. So, you know, it'll be the same exact thing. I guess Baltimore just hasn't done it yet. So, you know, we'll just time will tell with these things. But I mean, unless you want society to literally just become a third world country or the purge, I mean, I don't understand the defund the police concept at all. I mean, overfunding is definitely a thing out there, but like wanting to get rid of police like completely, like I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, you care about, you know, the security of your house, right? Like, you know, it's like you I mean, not everything can be handled like by you, homie. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's don't you want to be able to call 911 when something's going bad? Like, I don't know, dude. It's interesting times we live in. So my second topic. Oh, so obviously, I think Women's Appreciation Day was March 8th. Okay, so it was earlier this month. But on Women's Appreciation Day, Burger King UK, specifically on Twitter, took it upon themselves to tweet out, "Women belong in the kitchen," but they were saying it as like, so they followed it up immediately with we're giving out 1,000 scholarships to our culinary program in support of a Women's Appreciation Day or whatever. So obviously it was viewed in a very negative light, and like people couldn't believe that they tweeted that out. And then, like, you know, you kind of had to read into it to figure out like what they meant. I see what they were trying to do. Once again, it was another like provoking thing that they probably knew was going to turn controversial, but they were willing to deal with the consequences if it meant like they were genuinely supporting women, which they were. They had good intentions and they knew what they were doing when they sent that out, but unfortunately they got a shit ton of backlash. I'm sure they deleted the tweet by now, but I thought that was actually pretty funny, because, like, you know, they're genuinely trying to support women, and they got a bunch of hate for it on Monday, which was also International Women's Day. The Twitter account for Burger King UK tweeted, "Women belong in the kitchen." In a series of subsequent threaded tweets, the fast food giant pointed out the lack of female chefs in the restaurant business. If they want to, of course, reads a follow-up from the Burger King UK. Yet only 20% of chefs are women. We're on a mission to change the gender ratio in the restaurant industry by empowering female employees with the opportunity to pursue a culinary career. So they had good intentions behind it, but they definitely knew that was skeptical, like, and that was going to be controversial, them putting that out. So I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah. I will say though, that is a controversial topic that I feel like society as a whole has done good at deflecting and kind of solving. I think it's safe to say, at least from what I've seen in my personal life, that you know, men and females kind of have it equal now. Like, I just for the longest time that was a huge issue in American society. You know, wage gap. You know, just being treated differently in the American society. But safe to say, I think everyone is focused on other things than that. So.
Yeah, right now, we're focused on stopping Asian hate. That's what it is right now. So we'll but obviously things.
I mean, maybe it's always been this way, and just my lack of awareness growing up.
Yeah,
But I feel like, uh, based how things are, there always has to be something big in our society of what we're fighting against, what we're not supporting. Like Asian
yeah,
hate, cops, um, freaking people canceling like Muslim people because of terrorists from 9/11. Like, just there has to be like some just like big controversial thing like society has to focus on at the time. Like, as soon as this Asian hate goes away, like there's gonna be another group being criticized or something. Like, I don't remember it being like this growing up, but I definitely see it super prevalent. Nowadays there has to be something going on. Like, there can't be a moment in society where like we're just vibing. Like, music's getting dropped, artists aren't being fucking lazy with their craft. Good movies are coming out. Like, it's already bad enough like places like GameStop and Blockbuster like are getting phased out because people just don't want to go anywhere, or given by today's standards can't go anywhere. Yeah, just we're we're not in a good spot right now in American history.
yeah. I mean, according to Biden, though, everything should be normal by July 2021. So I guess we'll hold him to that. So
I will say though, when I step outside the base and go off base here, these Floribamians, if you're in the right location, which is like 30-40 minutes for me, where there's that convergence of Florida and Alabama. It's a vibe. It's a vibe. They don't stress the whole COVID bullshit here
yeah,
at all.
Florida is. I'm pretty sure they got rid of the mask mandate and all that other bullshit.
Yeah.
Like they've been done with that.
Yeah. So it's awesome. Definitely feels good for me being able to step outside and remember what it's like to be human. Straight up just be human, because given what I have to do on a day-to-day basis with AIT, it's just like you gotta be a straight synth. You gotta be a robot. You gotta
Yeah.
be what is it? An android. You gotta be a droid.
Cyberpunk.
You have to just freaking control, alt, delete everything that isn't what you're learning. And yeah, it requires a different switch in you to keep it moving here, but I'm trying my best to hang in.
Facts, 100%. Did you have any other topics that you wanted to touch on, or were those just your only two?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, that's it. All right, so one of my last topics is what do you think is the age it's time to be an adult? Because I have just, I don't know, like, obviously we've talked about it previously, how like being young and starting like a a career, you know, a serious career at that. That a lot of, you know, obviously you're the youngest person basically in your career, where it feels like, you know, you're kind of being, it's awkward, like it's an awkward move because there's everybody around you is a lot older than you.
Yeah.
So, you know, like I said, you feel like sometimes like you're an anomaly in your field, and it definitely, for some people, it's a hard transition because, you know, they've never had to truly be an adult until, you know, that moment hits them. So for some people, I feel like, I don't know, my personal opinion on this is like the time to be an adult varies person to person because some people have different upbringings. Some people are forced to be adults a lot sooner than, you know, Sally, who was raised in a happy home with two parents and went to college that they paid for. Like, you know what I mean? Like that,
Mhm.
like that.
So I think it really determines on who, given the perfect life, the perfect family support system and stuff, with perfect, well, you know, with a perfect environment, what would the standard be for them? For me, pushing the envelope would be 21. So for me, I would say 20 years old because, you know, 18, you know, you're an adult. And if you're being generous, you give a year of convergence and transitioning between being a child, you know, being a dependent to an independent.
Right.
But like you said, you know, not everybody has, you know, sunshine, rainbows, and, you know,
For their life.
whatever. So, you know, they are taking the responsibilities of an adult at 15, 16, you know, paying, you know, shout out to a brother, you know, paying for, you know, their mother's bills and stuff. But yeah.
Yeah. So, like, I guess I was just reading this article, and it was kind of bringing up like things like tobacco and like drinking and whatnot. It said since 1984, when states began raising the legal age of drinking from 21 to 18 in exchange for federal highway funds, in some cases barely a decade after lowering it, they have not been able to buy a beer at a bar in most of the United States, a restriction that has infuriated college students ever since. You know, and it's like you can basically go to war and die at 18, you know,
Yeah.
17 if your parents sign off. But, you know, you can't get a drink until you're 21, and it's like, you know, that whole
That's just
concept
one
is
thing that's
weird.
crazy to me here. It's like, here the regulations, like you can't have a vape, which, you know, we talked about this a little bit and kind of got a speculation of why they don't allow that is because it's really hard to regulate a vape and what's put in there. So, you know, it could be something like um something that's laced. So, you know, that's kind of why they don't allow you to have a vape in the army, or at least in TRADOC. Uh, but yeah, just whether it's, you know, vaping or drinking, like it's dumb to me. Like the Marines, whole different beast here. Like they can do pretty much whatever the fuck they want. They, you know, after they get released Friday, they just have to show up to Monday formation. At the time in between then, like they're set free. They can drink. They just have like everything, you know. But here in the army, it's like a completely different story, and it pisses me off because I kind of don't know why at all it's like that. Because if it's to, you know, discipline, whatever, like I don't know, man. I feel like it should be up to the individual themselves. Like if they want to do these things and fuck up their career and, you know, do something that would uh mean them not being able to hold uh,
Hold
a
that standard.
clearance, yeah, or you know, represent the army in a good picture, and they have to get separated. Then fucking let them. Like
Yeah, because they were gonna end up doing
yeah,
it one way or another,
yeah,
like whether
and
it's
like
now or later.
we have jobs in the army where you are super expendable. There's going to be someone that wants your job, wants that bonus, wants whatever, and you just are replaceable. You are another body, and that applies to you know basically any other career field. Like
Mm-hmm.
if this guy wants to do whatever, let him, because it's I mean it makes sense. It's because there's money involved getting you know someone in the army, doing their paperwork, their clearances if they need one, this and that. But yeah, it's I feel like it's stupid. I'm not, and I'm not saying like oh just let us drink, because I mean I don't give a fuck about drinking in the first place. It's not my crowd. It's not what I like. But having the freedom to go as I please and whatnot, I feel like is it's kind of important to me, because how can I be a trained killer? Fundamental of all enlisted people is to be a trained killer. Period. You're infantry soldier before everything else. That's the whole reason and premise behind basic combat training. Combat training. How can I be trained to proficiently shoot on my weapon with not only an iron sight but a combat sight, but I can't go out past 8 o'clock on a weekend, or
Yeah.
whatever. Like it's just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Not make sense.
I don't know, because I just thought it was like an interesting concept, because like um, I guess some people think that they are grown because they go to college or whatever, and they live on their, they get that feeling what it's like to live on their own for a
Mhm.
little bit. And so and obviously everybody drinks in college or whatever, so like whether they're underage or not, and it's like you get that feel, and it's like, but are you an adult? You know what I mean? And it's like
Yeah.
that those are two different spectrums. It's like somebody who's 18 and goes into college, and lives on their own for the first time. I feel like is in a different mind frame than somebody who's 18 and went into the military.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I feel like you know there are different like buckets of what an adult is, and you kind of fall in one category or the other. There's no in between. Like for us in the military, it's quick to say, okay, I'm an adult, because you're getting a retirement set up. Like you're getting your finances, you're getting your health care, like you are getting your government benefits set up. You're learning how that all works through a mandatory finance class. You're getting you know trained to, like I was touching on, upholding the Constitution, which means fundamentally being able to defend yourself and the people around you, and you know recognizing that you are a part of something greater than yourself, and upholding what they call the Army values, which is just um, a plethora of different traits to abide by. But I feel like for someone that's joined the Army, adulthood is established um, way more than just someone simply going to college.
yeah, that different mindset, man. It's like,
Join the service is like it's straight up blatant, like from someone, like if you're looking at as like someone's stat card or something, like listing their stats, facts, bio, whatever. um you look at that, of someone that's enlisted at 20 years old compared to someone that is 20 pursuing a degree in college, it's like, yeah, okay, this person is 100% an adult
Yeah.
compared to, you know, someone just pursuing a degree right out of college or right out of high school.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess I thought that that's what was interesting too, is like, you know, what classifies you as an adult. Obviously, everybody knows like when you hit 18, it's like technically you're an adult, and that's what everybody
Yeah.
says. But mentally, are you an adult? You know what I mean? Like, cause that's the thing. It's like, you know, well, 18 is when most people go to college. You know, at least the American standard is that. So, you know, it's like mentally, are you an adult? Like, you know what I mean? So, like, where's it? I feel like it's a big.
I think
gray
fundamentally it's you're an adult by physiological standards. Like you are done growing and all that fun stuff, but also having a good sense of independence, you know. So one, you were grown physiologically, but also like you have a sense of independence that you don't need your parents anymore. You can sustain life without having that support system. I think that if you can do both of those things, then you are an adult. You're no longer growing. You can support yourself. You're an adult. Everything kind of falls under those things, or I feel like isn't as important to, you know, generalize as what it means to be an adult. Like, because yeah, there's maturity, but I mean, let's really see. You're not gonna call 40-year-old man non-adult because he said something childish. Like, yeah, he said something like super childish or immature, but I mean, he's a grown ass man. This man has a full ass beard. Like, you know, he can do whatever he wants to please, like whatever. Like, he has a family. Like, you're not gonna say he's not adult just because of his way of thinking, you know. So
Yeah.
I think that to just generalize what it means to be adult, it's, you know, you're physically grown and you can sustain a life without your parents.
Yeah, and I guess, you know, technically everyone can do that at 18.
Yeah.
So, you know, I guess that's the whole general, like, oh, like, you know, you're 18 thing. But like, as we've seen, you know, in our life, like, that is not how it actually works. Like, for most people, you know, it's like for most people, it's like either college, military, or they go straight into the workforce and, you know,
do a trade, you know.
Yeah, like, and that's kind of what it is, you know. It's not like, you know, 18, like, all right, well, you're out and you're living on your own, you know what I mean? Like, it's normally there's a process. I think, like, you know, you had to wait until you were about 19 until you moved out, right? So so, you know, everybody's situation is different. So, you know, but I just think that's like that was, like, you know, interesting, I guess, to touch on, because I was just trying to, like, figure out, you know, like, the history of that, and like why, like, you know, you're allowed to go to war and die, but, like, you know, you're not allowed to drink until you're 21. That's, you know, just something that I thought was
like something as simple as you said, like, you can't be out past 8 o'clock. Like, like, you know, forgetting about the drinking and stuff, like something as simple as just being able to be out past 8 o'clock is like, come on now. Or the fact that you need to have, if you go off base, you need to have 2 other people Army affiliated with you at all times. Like, come on now.
This has been the Enrgy Podcast. If y'all like the podcast, give it a thumbs up on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and any other platform that you could find this on. All of our social medias will be linked down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.